I know I don't know anything about them, but I thought it'd be fun to talk about yaks and why somebody might raise yaks in Gunnison County, and I know we're starting to get some, and I know that Christine and Nathan Toole have been raising them for several years now and have quite a big herd. So I was going to let you guys maybe just visit about yaks. And
hello. So we have been raising yaks for about 7 years, and our herd is now up to 35, and we started out with 6. Colorado has the largest breeders. There are 78 breeders throughout Colorado. That's as of 2017. We are raising them for meat. They are 95 to 97% lean, and we only feed their grass-fed. We don't do grains or anything like that. The cows, so the females, are between 400 and 600 pounds. The bull is between 6 and 1,000 pounds. We do have 3 bulls on site right now. Let's see, and he's about 1,000 pounds, and he's 7 years old. They can live up to 35 years. There's a lot of people that say that they won't breed, but every other year, but all of ours have bred. They don't do well with dogs or cats. They like to chase them. So the yaks eat 1/3 less than a domestic cow. And right now we're feeding about 1,400 pounds a week for 25 head, or 8 pounds per animal. Their gestational period is 8 to 8.5 months. We've had to only assist in 1. The mom was new and just left it. And Nathan got attached. Both the cow and the bull have horns, so that you can only really tell them apart by size. And they all have what they call skirts. And if you ever want to come out and brush them, you could have the fiber. It is the equivalent to cashmere, so real soft and warm. Go ahead. You can brush it. We don't shave or anything like that.
Take the garden hose out to get to the. I'm a handsman. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fabulous.
Yeah. We don't water the yaks in the winter. They will bust the ice to get to water, or they'll eat the snow.
And we have had where they had water and they chose to eat the snow rather than actually use the water. So.
When we were doing research for this, they said that yaks will breed when they're about 3 or 4 years old. All of ours have bred around 2 years old. My clicker isn't working.
No, sorry.
The meat is high in omega-3s. There's also high in protein, zinc, and vitamin B. It has better stats than chicken, skinless chicken, or salmon. We won't go into that one. Sure.
It tastes like beef.
good.
It's a little bit sweeter, juicier, so it has more towards bison.
It's exactly like beef. I
Yeah.
mean, other than it's a little redder in color, you really wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
The brats are our favorite. They turned out really well. So the fiber, a lot of people use it for ropes, garments, and even tents. sells for about $16 a kilogram. So it's if you can get it to the right person. But that's us.
Any questions?
How do the yaks, I know we don't have very hot weather in the summer, but how does that, do they respond to that, or?
They just tend to hang out more. They won't be as active. They'll be more active in the mornings or in the evenings, and then when it starts getting hot, they just they'll hang out. They come from Tibet, where they can experience very high temperatures, but they also do very well in the cold temperatures. I mean, they can handle -40. I mean, I know our cattle and stuff do fine here, but I don't worry about these guys at all. They have no shelters. They don't need any shelters. They say that you might want if you have high temperatures, but we're still kind of relatively not that hot here. But they're around Montrose. They have them back east in New York and those areas. I feel kind of bad for them in those areas because it's so hot and humid there, but I think that's where they do most of the shaving. They're starting to shave them more for their hairs. So,
Do you have to concern about when they have their calves, like with cattle and whatnot, so you don't have them when they're really cold, or does it matter with them?
no, we've had one in January. We had one just in November that lived through the winter. It's just fine. I mean, like I said, I don't even we don't really, because of their hairs and their guard hairs, you don't notice that they're even pregnant half the time. So we know about when they should give birth, but we have them all of a sudden just drop a calf. And the last one that I saw, she took about 10 minutes to drop her calf, and 10 minutes later it was up and running around. So we really don't worry about them. They're more efficient at digestion.
They're also a bit smaller.
Yeah, they are. They're, the cow itself can 400 to 600 pounds. So I'm not quite sure what a domestic cow would weigh. Yeah, so it's about half the size.
Our first bull that we had, we lost him. He had ulcers, and it perforated one of his stomach. So we put him down, but we had to store him in the barn because we couldn't get him to the dump. So we did an autopsy right there, and it's amazing. Those things are not hungry. Just all the hay that came out of that guy.
Yeah.
Will a yak kill a wolf?
Yes, they will. That's their number one predator in Tibet is the gray wolf, and they don't like dogs. They do fine with our dog, but if stray dogs come through, they will not run from it. That even like if we tried to use dogs to move them, it wouldn't work. They will just go and take care of the dog. So.
Feeding 8 pounds?
8 pounds.
Hay a day?
Yeah, per animal.
Is that per adult?
Yeah.
Do you have to worry about any vaccination on them or anything?
We do just the standards, but we don't really. They're not disease resistant, but they definitely aren't as acceptable diseases.
So you don't have to use procedures that cattlemen use for vaccinations and stuff? Is that what you're thinking?
Not necessarily, no. We give, I think when we had them done this fall, we just did for bronchitis and pneumonia and things like that, and that's all we gave them. And we haven't, we've lost a few animals and we don't know why, but it's not like we've never seen any kind of disease in them.
Would you speak a little bit to your marketing, where you're at with that? Are you selling product now? Is it online?
Well, we do all of our processing through Kinnikin because they are USDA approved, so we can sell it. But we're not big enough to have it in a storefront yet. And I got beat up pretty good last year because, yak versus beef. And I don't have to sell it, I can do it word of mouth and it gets out there just fine. And we have people that can attest for that, but.
Because it does take longer. I mean, we've got, they're going to be 3 this year. it takes up to 4 years to get a steer up to size, a good size to butcher. So therefore, our prices are higher. So,
What is the Yaks' temperament toward you all as caregivers?
for me, they get along with me just fine. The more you're with them, the better you are. They don't charge. I mean, you can get them cornered, and they still necessarily do not want to charge you. I think they just know that if they do, they will hurt you. They very much are. You can connect with them differently. I grew up around cattle. I used to work with them when I was younger, and I feel a lot more eased with these guys than I do with domestic cattle. Anybody else?
Where do you live?
We live west of town,
West
right
of
across
town.
from Neversink.
Across from Neversink?
We bought the old Phelps place. Yep.
So anytime, we have a lot of tourists in the summer. We cause a lot of traffic jams out there.
We do have 10 babies that we've, right, 10 babies?
Well,
They're about
they're-
6 months old
Yeah.
that we've pulled off of moms to give moms breaks. So now's a chance if you want to try to pat one through the fence, you could do that.
'Cause you typically, they don't wean them. They stay with their mom forever. They say it's a year before they actually wean them. We went ahead and did a 6 month just to try. In the past, we've never actually pulled our calves at all. We just left them out there. But from more research, they're saying if we pull them at 6 months, they have a better gaining on the calves. And, truthfully, it was nice to give moms a break for a while because they've been,
We had 1-year-olds still trying to nurse.
yeah,
So
so. All right.
Well, good, right?